Hi there. I'm Heaven. It's very nice to meet you, or for family and friends, it's nice to see you again. I have some news to some of you, and to the rest of you that don't know me, I am bipolar. I was just diagnosed yesterday. And it was a total shock to me. And yes, I said it. I'm bipolar. No, that doesn't mean I'm crazy. It does mean I'm manic depressive, so I have a lot of highs and a lot of lows. With just straight depression, you have your lows, you don't have your highs. So when you have bipolar disorder, that's Puss, by the way. He says hi. When you have bipolar disorder, you have a lot of highs, and then you have your lows. Well, for me, I have a lot of highs, but I also have, my days of being not so high. Not like drug-wise, but you understand. So on your high days, you will make impulse purchases such as this really pretty pearl ring that I totally couldn't afford. I will go to the mall and spend $200 in one store and think that, my finances will figure themselves out. That's so not the case. My finances are not okay. At all. I mean, it could totally be worse, but it's not okay for me to be in debt. And I am. Only slightly. Not significantly, but enough to matter. And the reason I am is because of these impulse purchases that I make. Or these impulse decisions I make to up and leave and go to some city that's forever away, and the gas money kills me, and eating out at the restaurants. Just random things that I'm just impulsive. I've got to do right then and there. I've got to have it. I've got to do it. It doesn't matter what's happening in my life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this decision. That's one example. That's one thing that would describe you, possibly, if you have bipolar disorder. Second thing, I feel absolutely invincible. I feel like I can do anything. I can stay up and have 45 minutes of sleep, maybe even no sleep, and function the next day. And the thing is, I actually function the next day. I do perfectly fine. I'm hyper. I am up. I am ready to go. I am happy. I'm dancing. I'm singing. That's really not normal, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely not something you naturally can do. So that is part of the mania. And I make very rash decisions. I hate to say this. I have driven under the influence before, and that is never okay to do. Ever. You should never drive under the influence. But my mind, my body, I felt so sure that everything was going to be alright. I had no idea that everything would be okay, but I did it anyway. That's also part of the mania. This feeling of invincibility. You just can't be brought down. Nothing bad can happen to you because you are on your high. You're on your game. Shit's going your way. The Oreo ice cream was at Kroger. My God, how could you go wrong? Don't. If you have those impulse purchases, the feelings of invincibility, being able to go off with no sleep, going to maybe random strangers' homes without having met them before, that's a personal experience. Maybe you've had sex with someone and you shouldn't have done it. You definitely know you shouldn't have done it. You know you probably didn't really, maybe even not wanted to do it, but you did it anyway, and now you might have an STD. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Those are mania, manic, crazy rash decisions that you make. that's part of what personally is my bipolar disorder. This is my personal experience. There are so many that are different. Like my mother's mania and manic, she has anger. She doesn't have the euphoric feeling of being just perfection, everything being okay. She has so much anger. And that's not the case with me, but that's the case with her because she's also bipolar. She's manic depressive as well. And when you have your depressive times, I'm sure you know what it's like to be depressed, but when you're unusually low, you can't function, you can't think, you can't focus without being down in the dumps. Like that's your only focus. That's part of being bipolar, combined with the highs, of course. So I'm here kind of as a way to cope with being bipolar because I feel like it makes me a weak individual. I feel like my gene pool wasn't perfect, and no one's gene pool is perfect. Everyone is different, but I feel like it gives me, I have confidence issues. So I fear that I will not have the acceptance that I would have had if I was a perfectly normal individual without bipolar disorder. And, I've had a past relationship where it was looked at as a very negative thing, and that, he thought my mom was crazy, and, well, hey, now I've been diagnosed with the same thing. It's, of course, not in the same way, but it's still bipolar disorder, but I'm not crazy. I can't help the decisions that I've made, but I can. People will tell you, oh, you can make the decisions of your own. That's so true, but you might not be able to do that without medication. I certainly haven't been able to do that without medication. So now I'm going to be medicated with different medications. I think he diagnosed me, or not diagnosed me, but put me on Cymbalta and Giadon. So those are the two that I'm going to be on. The Cymbalta is an antidepressant, and the Giadon is a mood stabilizer. Apparently, it's a very strong one, and I was previously on Abilify because he thought I just had severe depression. And the Abilify caused me to gain, okay, just a small example, when we actually started keeping up with it, it caused me to gain a total of 20 pounds in 3 months. 20 pounds in 3 months. That's how much weight the Abilify was causing me to gain. And I was on it, I've been on it since probably September, and it's February. No, it's actually March right now. And he just took me off of that yesterday. So the Abilify may work perfect for you. It may not. You just trust your doctor and do what they say. But this is just to kind of let you in on what it may be like. And if you have these highs and lows, or think you might be bipolar or have manic depressive disorder, see someone. Don't be ashamed of it. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It's part of who I am, and I'm going to let it shine, and I'm going to show the world the struggles and the positive sides. I mean, there has to be positives. We have these mania highs where we are the happiest people in the absolute world. So I'm not going to let people judge me for being bipolar. And if you do, and you're like, I can't date a girl that's bipolar or date a guy that's bipolar, that's someone else's problem. That's not yours. Don't ever, honey, don't ever let anybody say that they can't do you or be with you because you have a mental disorder. that is plain selfish, and they've probably got something going on their own. So this is day 1 of being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I totally had a nervous breakdown, kind of, sort of, at work. I had panic attacks, and my dad talked me through it and said it would be okay. He married my mom. He loves the ground she walks on. He loved her when she wasn't medicated, and he's been with her through everything. So if he can find it, I can find it too, especially after you get medicated. Apparently everything levels out. I will let you know for sure whenever, my medicine gets here, because they were out of it at the pharmacy, but tomorrow should be my first day of trying my medication, and I hope it goes well. But anyway, so now you know I'm bipolar, and it's not the end of the world, and it won't be the end of the world for you either. So ta-ta for now, but it's been a nice talk, and I will check in tomorrow or maybe a week from now. I'll let you know. But don't freak out, because you're perfectly normal, you're beautiful, you're amazing, handsome, whatever. You're unique. Embrace it. Live long and prosper, babes.